All right, everybody, you saw the unboxing, hopefully. Now we are going to start, or at least I'm going to start playing a few games from the 2025 season and see if I can begin to like the modern game. This will be my third attempt at it, but I am watching the current season that's going on right now, some of the highlights and whatnot. So I'm learning the players, and I'm starting to not feel quite as bad about the modern game as I did last year. So maybe there's progress. We shall see. We're at History Maker Baseball, and it's opening day 2025, March 27th, 2025. We're at Minute Maid Park in Houston, the New York Mets and the Houston Astros. Framber Valdez against Clay Holmes. If we look at the umpires for today's game, behind the plate, it's going to be Andy Fletcher. First base is Rob Drake. Second base is Jansen Visconti. And at third base is Malachi Moore. I do have the game scored on paper, but I've got it off camera because I just can't fit everything here. But they're here. And but I've got the OBS going with the Action PC. So we got the line score and we got the pitcher batter matchup as they come up. So hopefully that is sufficient. We shall see. Of course, I got the game book right here. But again, that is also off camera. And I will just read the results as they come up. Astros and the Mets, 2025. And when runners become on base, we'll use these little guys. Or actually, what I should do, let me add. I need to add. I forgot to add. I don't even need the base runners now to think about it, because I can just add the base runners from the Action PC game. So let me do that real quick. I probably should have done that from the get-go and didn't do it. So let's do that real quick. You don't need the outfielders. All you need is the infielders, in my opinion. So we'll put them right there. We'll shorten this box a little bit. We don't need that box quite as big, I don't think. In fact, I'll push this here and put that up here so that that's a little bit bigger. Oops. Right there, and then we'll do that right there. So hopefully that will be fine. I know it's covering up the dice tray, but actuality, let me do this. Let me put this up higher, and that'll cut off the thing there for what we need to see. So hopefully that's better now. So we don't even need, now that I think about it, we don't even need the tokens. We just go it this way and get ourselves going. Leading off will be Francisco Lindor for the Mets, and we're underway. 3-4-6, and that is blank for the pitcher Valdez. It's asking is the batter eager. No, he's not. So he'll walk. So Francisco Lindor will draw a free pass to start the ball game. So Lindor is at first. Nobody out for Juan Soto. 2-5-6. Is the pitcher a struggler? No. Is Soto a champion, or is he patient? Soto is patient, so he'll draw a walk as well. So Framber Valdez has walked the first two he has faced. Off to a rough start, and here's Pete Alonso. 2-3-4, runners on base. Yes, there are. We're going to plate drama for the runners on base. Normally that deals with the catcher, so we're looking at Diaz this time. Diaz, the catcher for the Astros, is a neutral fielding catcher, so that comes into play. We'll look at that. 4-6, it asks, is the catcher iron? No, he's not. He is neutral. If he was iron, it'd be a pass ball. Otherwise, it's a strike, and we're going to the umpire chart. So we're going to the umpire chart with runners at first and second. First and second. This one I will show. First and second for the umpires. So umpires at first and second. This little section right here. And we get a 1-5. And a 1-5 says, or ask, I should say, 1-5 ask, is it respected umpire at home? The home plate umpire is Andy Fletcher. He is not respected. He is semi-questionable and lenient. So the answer to that is a no. So we finished the question. If he was respected, double runner on second scores, runner on first thrown out at home. Other umpires both score. So it's going to be a double for Pete Alonso, and both runners are going to score. The runner on first, Soto, would have been out at the plate had Fletcher been respected, but he was not. So it's a 2-run double off the bat of Pete Alonso. And just that quickly, the Mets lead it 2-0. And automatically, I can hear you saying now, this is not realistic because the Mets would never do this. All right, here's Vientos. Mark Vientos. Oh, that one didn't go through. So even the small one got hung up in here. I don't know what's going on with these dice. 4-5-5. We go back to the standard chart on the 4-5-5. Does the pitcher have flash? Valdez does have flash, so it's a strikeout. Vientos is down on strikes out number 1. And Valdez finally records an out. That'll bring up Brandon Nimmo, the left fielder. 3-5-6, that's a lefty-righty split. Both, it's lefty versus lefty, so that's a Circle K strikeout. 2 down. And that'll bring up Starling Marte. 3-4-6. Pitcher is blank. Is the batter eager? Marte is semi-eager. The dot says he's eager, so he's going to fly to center to end the inning. If he was not eager, he would have walked, but he flies to center. And that's going to do it for the Mets. But they do score 2 here in the top of the first. We go to the bottom of the first. And Clay Holmes, who ironically was the closer for the Yankees in 2024, is now the opening day starter for the Mets in 2025. And he's facing Jose Altuve, who's playing a very unfamiliar position of left field. 4-5-6. Pitcher is blank. Is Altuve patient? No, he's not. He's going to fly to center. And that is out number 1. And it's in purple, so it's taking us to the chemistry chart. Both teams by default in opening day are semi-harmonious. So they need the dot to be harmonious all the way. And Isaac Paredes will be the batter on this check for chemistry. Now they're both harmonious. 33. Pitching team distance, no. If it was, it'd be out of position for a hit, and the ball would get by for a hit. Otherwise, ground out to first. And that's going to be out number 2 as Pete Alonso will take it to the bag himself. 2 down for Yordan Alvarez, designated hitter. 1-3-6, is he an ace? No, he's not an ace. Is the batter whiffer or cold? He's neither one. So we are going to infield drama for the Mets. And we get a 34 on the infield drama. Ask, is the third baseman gold for the Mets? Third baseman for the Mets is Vientos. He's actually iron. So he's not gold. So it's going to be a base hit. Base hit for Yordan Alvarez, a 2-out single. And that'll get us to the cleanup hitter, Christian Walker. These History Maker cards, brand new, so they are kind of sticking together till you break them in. So Christian Walker, your batter, with Alvarez at first, and 2 away. 5-6-6. Is the pitcher wild? No. Does the batter have a good eye? No, he does not. So it's going to be a strikeout, and that's going to end the inning. Nothing doing for the Astros. We played 1 here at Minute Maid Park, and it's the Mets 2, Astros nothing. We would normally go to the right now chart, but Taylor has not had an at bat. So my homebrew is I don't do the right now chart until every batter in the lineup has a chance to hit, so that they can have some history going here. All right, so Tyrone Taylor is your batter. He will lead things off. 355, and not a struggler or gilded. Is he a champion? No, he's not a champion. He'll ground it to second unless he's a whiffer. He is a semi, but the dot says no, so just a ground ball to second base, handled by Rogers, and there is one away. For Luis Angel Acuna. I'm not sure how the first name is pronounced. I've got to learn these names. Luis Angel Acuna? I'm not sure. You tell me. Luisangel. You tell me how it's pronounced. Or I'll just have to learn it, I guess. 345, iron catcher. Catcher is Diaz. He's not iron. He's neutral. Does the batter have a good eye? He does not. So that's a strikeout. Strikeout for Framber Valdez as he takes care of Acuna for out number 2. And that'll bring up number 9 hitter, catcher, Luis Torrens. 245. Ask the pitcher's blank. Ask if he's a hero. He is not. He's going to pop it up to second, and that will end the inning. That results in red, so we're going to the experience chart for the first at bat of the top of the second. But as we go to the bottom of the second, score still remains 2-0. Yanir Diaz is your batter. Experience, he is neutral. Clay Holmes is an icon, so Mets have the advantage here. On the experience chart, it's a 1-2. And on the experience chart, on a 1-2, icon batter. No, he's neutral batter. If he was an icon batter, he would draw an experience and launch a highlight reel blast to left field. Otherwise, he strikes out. Boy, a big change there. So by him not being an icon, he strikes out. So Diaz is out on strikes. 1 away, and that's going to send us to Jeremy Pena, shortstop. 2-3-5. And that's asking his pitcher's wild. No, he's got semi-control. Is the batter eager? Pena is semi-eager. Dot says he's eager, so he will single through shortstop. So it's a base hit. A little extra eager. He stuck his bat out there and got a hit. So Pena singles. 1 on, 1 out for Cam Smith, the right fielder. 1-6-6. Is the pitcher workman or gilded? No, he's not. Is the batter a whiffer? Yes, he is. Cam Smith will strike out. But that actually worked out in the Astros' favor because the alternative would have been a ground ball double play that would have ended the inning. So as it is, we go to Brendan Rodgers, second baseman, former Colorado Rocky. 1-1-3. Is the pitcher ace or dynamic? Holmes is not that. Is the batter a slugger? He is not a slugger. So he's going to single to center unless, let's get the reason why that would be the unless here. Let me go to the alternative. Sad sack or home run king would strike out. He is a semi-sad sack, but the dot says no this time. So since he is not a sad sack in this at bat, he will single to center field. So it's a single, 1 base advancement with a lead die of 1, even with 2 outs. So now 2 are on for Jake Myers, center fielder. 4-6-6. Does the pitcher have control? Yes, he does. He needs the dot, and he got it. But that means the pitch is red, and it's a single to left field. So that will be a base hit, 2 base advancement. And the Astros are on the board. Bottom portion of the order coming through. It is now 2-1 Mets. And here comes Altuve, top of the order. 2-1, runners on the corners. And that is a 1-1-3. Not an ace. Is he a slugger? No, he's not a slugger. He's a semi-home run king. Single to center unless he is a sad sack or home run king. He's a semi-home run king. The dot says he is. So that means he will strike out instead. As he was going for the fences. But that's going to do it for the Stros. They are out of here. We go to the top of the third. 2-1 Mets. And here comes Francisco Lindor. 5-6-6. Not wild. Does he have a good eye? No, he does not. It's a strikeout. Now, this one's in blue, and we will go to the right now chart now that everybody's had an at bat. We will go to the right now chart for Juan Soto. Since Juan Soto has had an at bat already, we have some history to go on now. So we can follow along with that. Juan Soto. Soto, in his last at bat, got a base hit. So I'm sorry, he walked. So he's neutral. And Valdez on this result is hot. It's semi-hot because of the strikeout. So we got a semi-hot pitcher against a neutral batter. Now the pitcher is hot, 66. Hot batter, no. If he was hot, he'd hit a home run into the stands. Otherwise, there's a drive. It's still a fence check for Soto. So it's still a good chance that he'll hit this one out of here. On the right now chart, the 6-6. He's not a hot batter, so it didn't get a home run. Otherwise, deep drive center field fence, and he is a home run king. So most likely this will be gone, but we'll double check it, make it official. As we go to the fence check. Fence check right here. And the only way it's not a home run is if we roll a 1. Any other result, and it's a home run for Juan Soto. And it's gone. Juan Soto, home run. Home run, Juan Soto. His first of the season, obviously. Puts the Mets ahead 3-1. And here is Pete Alonso. 1-4-5. Back to the regular chart. 1-4-5. His pitcher's not a struggler, so that means he's going to ground it to third. And that will be out number 2. 2 down for Mark Vientos. Struck out his first chance. 1-4-6. Does the pitcher have flash? Yes, he does. He's going to strike out again. So Vientos out on strikes once again. But the Juan Soto home run has given the Mets a 3-1 lead as we head to the bottom of the third. Isaac Paredes steps to the plate. 1-2-5. Is the pitcher a struggler? No, he's not. Is he patient? No, he's not patient. He will ground to third. If he was a whiff rate strikeout, but he's not, so just a simple ground ball. Over to third baseman Vientos, and there's one away. Designated hitter Yordan Alvarez for the Astros. 2-4-5. Pitcher is blank. Is the batter a hero? He is a semi-hero. The dot says he is, so it's a base hit for Yordan Alvarez. And that brings up Christian Walker. That's a 1-1-3. Acer dynamic, no. Is he a slugger? He's a semi-home run king, but not a slugger. He's going to single to center unless he's a home run king, which he is not because the dot is blank. So that single will stand. It's a one base advancement on the single. Base hit for Christian Walker. And now here come the Astros. First and second, one out for Yanier Diaz. 1-2-6. Is he fresh? We're still in the third inning, so he is fresh. It's going to be a line out to second base. Line out to second base for out number 2. 2 down, and that will take us to Jeremy Pena. 1-1-3. Boy, getting that result a lot. Is he a slugger? Yes, he is. It's a double to left field for Pena. And with 2 outs, let's see here. Active runner scores from second on any hit. What about the runner on first? Now, it's 2 bases on doubles is what it says. So just going to be your standard double, but that will score Alvarez. Walker will stop at third. Astros get one of those runs back. It's now 3-2. And here comes Cam Smith. Smith struck out his first chance. 3-4-5. Is it an iron catcher? No, I don't believe he is. Let me double check it. Catcher for the Mets is Torrens. He's actually semi-gold. Does the batter have a good eye? No, he does not. He will strike out. To end the inning, that results in blues. So we're going to the right now chart to start the 4th inning. So now both pitchers have reverted to semi-freshness since we're going to the 4th. But we're going to the right now chart for Nimmo versus Valdez. Nimmo struck out, so he is going to be semi-cold. And Valdez, in his last, let me get the thing here. I'm not keeping score on the score sheet like I said I was going to do, but go to the play-by-play here. And Torrens, let's see here in the 3rd inning, the Mets, Vientos struck out. So that means Valdez is semi-hot from striking out Vientos, and Nimmo is semi-cold from striking out his last time up. And so we got a hot pitcher against a cold batter, and we get a 46 on the right now chart. Hot pitcher, yes, he is a hot pitcher thanks to the dot. Baffles batter with called strike 3, so he will strike out Nimmo. And that is one away. Oh, didn't want that to go on there. Get off there. All right, so now here's Starling Marte. 2-3-6, double control. He does not have it. Marte is eager, though, so that means it's a 2-ball count. That is my house rule. If the batter is eager, he does not walk on the 2-3-6. So we'll try again. 1-2-3, flash and fresh. He is fresh because the dot gives it to him as the fresh, and he is flash, so that will be a strikeout. Once again for Framber Valdez. Striking out Marte, 2 down, and here's Tyrone Taylor. 2-4-6. Does the pitcher have control? Yes, he's got semi-control. The dot gives it to him. So it's a ground ball right back to Valdez. And an easy 1-2-3 inning for Framber Valdez. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 3-2. And here is Clay Holmes facing Rogers. 1-2-4. Is he a control pitcher? He's semi-control, but the dot says no. Is the batter eager? He is not eager, so he's going to walk. So a base on balls issued to Brandon Rogers. If he was active, he would steal, but he is actually stoic, so he will stay there. And here's Jake Myers. 2-3-4, runners on base. Yes, we have plate drama again because there are runners on base. Torrens is semi-gold, though, so that could certainly help out the Mets. Well, now he's actually neutral because it's a 1-3 neutral. So 1-3, catcher gold. No, he is not, so it's going to be a wild pitch. He was semi-gold, but the dot didn't give it to him. Therefore, he could not stop that one from Holmes, and it is a wild pitch sending Rogers to second base. That results in purple, so we're going to the chemistry chart now for both teams. Both teams are semi-harmonious. Now they're both harmonious. 2-6. Batting team harmony, yes. Batter chops a single. A single for Jake Myers. Lead die of 2. Let's see. A runner advances 1 base. Active runner scores from second. Rogers is stoic, so he will hold at 3rd. So it will be a single, but it will not score the run. But the Astros have something cooking here. 2 on, nobody out. And the top of the order coming up, Jose Altuve. Mets playing back for the double play. Nobody out. 2-6-6. We go to 2-6-6. And 2-6-6 shows runner on first thrown out. So they pick off Myers from first base. He was, I don't know what he was doing, but they pick him off. So let's see, pick off. There you go. Myers is out. Here's Altuve, runner at third and one out. Infield is now in. 1-2-4. Does he have control? Yes, he does. The dot gives it to him. It's a ground out to short. And we go to our infield in chart and see what happens to the base runners in this situation. So the lead die was a 1. So with the lead die of a 1, with the runner on third, infield in, lead die of 1, runner holds. Says it right there, runner holds. So by playing the infield in, they prevent the run. It's just a simple ground ball to Lindor, and having to hold is Rogers. So 2 down now, and it's up to Paredes to get the tying run home. 3-6-6. Probably not going to do that. 3-6-6 asks if it's a pinch hitter. He is not, so he flies to center. And that will end the inning. So Holmes pitches around a lot of stuff, keeps the score at 3-2. And now it's going to be Acuna leading off for the Mets against Valdez. 3-4-5. He's not an iron catcher. He doesn't have a good eye, so it's another strikeout for Valdez. That's his 8th strikeout. And we're going to the right now chart once again. Right now, semi-hot pitcher. And he'll be facing Torrens, who is a neutral batter. So it's a semi-hot pitcher against a neutral batter. Now they're both neutral. 4-6. Hot pitcher, no. Otherwise, grounder to the pitcher with the only play at first base, but there's nobody else on base, so it's just a simple ground ball back to Valdez. So instead of getting a strikeout, he gets a ground out. It's the only difference. 2 out spaces empty. Top of the order for Lindor. 4-4-5 for Valdez. 4-4-5. Is he a workman? No, he is not. Is the batter patient? Lindor is not patient. He will ground to first. So easy play there for Walker. And the Mets are gone easily here in the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Still a 3-2 ball game. Astros have out hit the Mets 8-2, but they left 6 on base. Then they're a bugaboo. Plus had 1 guy picked off. So here's Yordan Alvarez. 1-3-4. Is the catcher gold? No, he's semi-gold, but the dot says no. Is the batter a champion? He is not a champion. So we're going to have outfield drama for the Mets. And let's see, 3-5 on the outfield drama. Left fielder gold. Left fielder for the Mets is Nimmo. Nimmo is actually semi-iron, so he is not gold. Let's see here, 3-5, right? He's not gold. If he was gold, he'd catch it for a flyout. Otherwise, it's going to be a double. So a double for Yordan Alvarez. And that's going to take us to the chemistry chart because that result was in purple. Chemistry at bat coming up for Christian Walker. Both teams are harmonious. 1-5. Pitching team harmony. Yes, outfielder makes sliding grab of a looping liner for an out. Which outfielder is it? Well, we'll find out. 1-2, it's the left fielder. 3-4, it's center. 5-6, it's right. It's the left fielder. So the left fielder, Nimmo, makes the play on this one. Fine sliding catch. And staying at second base is Alvarez. 1 away for Yanir Diaz. 2-2-3. Back to our main chart. 2-2-3. Not wild. The pitcher's not wild. Is a batter slugger or utility? Diaz is a slugger, which means he will line out to short. If he was a whiffer, he would strike out as well, but instead, I should say. But he's not. He just lines it to short for out number 2. And now Holmes has a chance to get out of this by getting Jeremy Pena. 1-4-4. Does he have flash? Yes, he does. It's a strikeout, but we do have the goggles. And this I will show in the book. 1-4-4. 144. When you look at 144, there you can see where my thumb is here, although the shadow's a little bit. There's a pair of glasses here. You can see a pair of goggles. So we go to this part here and look at the goggles. If I can show it correctly. The goggles. 144, it says questionable or lenient umpire calls ball 4, other umpires call strike 3. Well, the home plate umpire is semi-questionable and lenient both, so he's going to make this ball 4. So Andy Fletcher will not give him the strikeout. Andy Fletcher will issue the base on balls, and that will keep the inning going. Holmes thought he had the strikeout, but Andy Fletcher has other ideas. All right, here's Cam Smith. Holmes is about at fatigue, so he's going to try to get through the inning. 2-5-6. Is he a struggler? No, he's not. Is the batter a champion or patient? He's neither one. So we have infield drama this time for the Mets. Checking out their infield. 3-5 on the infield drama. Third baseman, iron. Vientos at third is iron. So he certainly is. Not able to make routine play. Ball rolls past for a single to left field. And now we need to check base running with the lead die of 1. 2 outs, any runner scores from second on any hit. So Alvarez will come around to score. So it'll be a single. Alvarez will score. Pena only goes to second, but Alvarez will come home to score. And we have a tie ball game. And now let's see what they decide to do here. They're going to visit the mound and see what kind of situation he is in. He looks tired, it says. Holmes is tired, so they could go to the bullpen here. In fact, they will. So that's going to be it for Clay Holmes. He will leave. And now the Mets will go to a right-hander because they have a right-hander coming up. And the right-hander is available. Jose Buto, Max Kranick, Huascar Brazaban, Reed Garrett, Ryan Stanek, and of course the closer Edwin Diaz you're not going to use. The only lefty they have is A.J. Minter. So they're going to hold him out. They're going to go with Ryan Stanek. They're going to bring in Ryan Stanek out of the bullpen. And Stanek coming on. And by coming in middle of an inning, he gains the ace quality for this at bat. I mean, he is a semi-struggler, but he does gain the ace quality. So let's see what happens with that with Brendan Rodgers. 2-4-5 runner. See, he's not. It's the pitcher's blank. Is the batter a hero? No, he's not. He's going to pop it up to second, and that will end the inning. And now you can close the book on Mr. Clay Holmes. Astros have tied it, though. We go to the 6th. We're still tied. We're now tied at 3. That result, by the way, that last result was in red. That popped up to second. So we're going to the experience chart to start the top of the 6th. Soto's an icon. So is Valdez. So even matchup. Icon, icon. 1-1. Prospect pitcher, no, he's not. If he was, he'd give up a Finch play, but he's going to actually strike out Soto. And for Valdez, that is now strikeout number 9. Gets Valdez. Here's a lot. So he gave up 2 runs in the first and has settled in a lot since then. Here's Alonso. 2-3-4. No one is on base. Is he a hot batter? Pete Alonso in his last at bat. Let's see, what did he do in his last at bat? See, that's the thing. When I'm not keeping score, that's where I get in a little bit of trouble. So we're going to the play-by-play, and I'm going to see if I can figure out what. This is why I should have been keeping score, I guess, theoretically. So we're going to go back to Alonso on his last at bat to find out what he did. And according to this, Pete Alonso, where are you? He grounded out to third. So he is not a hot batter. So since he's not a hot batter, he will pop it up to third, and that is out number 1. Hot batter had been a potential for a home run. As it is, he pops it out to Paredes for out number 2. And that'll take us to Vientos. 3-5-6, that's a left-right split check. He is a righty and Valdez is a lefty. So I don't give the utility as an out if it's a left-right split and the batter has the advantage. I always give him the hit so I can incorporate the left-right splits as much as possible. So in my world, it is an automatic hit when a batter hits off the opposite-handed pitcher, no matter how bad he is. So it's a 2-out single, and here comes Nimmo. 1-3-4 for Nimmo. Not a gold catcher. Is he a champion? No, he's not. So we got outfield drama for the Astros. And we get a 3-6 outfield drama. Left fielder Stoic. Altuve, I don't believe is Stoic, but I will double check it. Altuve is not Stoic. So that is a no on that result. If he was Stoic, the ball would get by him for a single. Otherwise, it's a running grab of a fly out, and that will end the inning. So Altuve tracks it down. And now we go to the bottom of the 6th, tied at 3. Stanek is now semi-fresh as we head into his 2nd inning for him. And here is Jake Meyers. 2-2-5. Is the pitcher a star? No, he's not a star. Slugger or sad sack? He's neither one. He's going to single to center. Active with steal. He's semi-active. The dot gives it to him, so it's going to be a single for Meyers, and then he will steal second base. Gets himself into scoring position with nobody out. Met bullpen starting to stir again. And this time it is the lefty. Left-hander, A.J. Minter, loosening in the Met bullpen. Here's Altuve. 3-5-6, that's a left-right split. That is a Circle K strikeout as we have a righty against a righty. And that's out number 1. Here's Isaac Paredes. 1-4-5. It's a pitcher, a struggler. He is a semi-struggler. The dot says he is, so it's a wild pitch. So Stanek has uncorked a wild pitch. That will move the runner to third with 1 out. Now the infield is going to have to come in. 1-3-4, not a gold catcher. Champion, he's not a champion. So we have outfield drama for the Mets. 2-6 on the outfield drama. Center fielder Stoic. Tyrone Taylor is semi-active. He is not Stoic. So it's going to be a grab of a flyout with a lead die of 2. Is that good enough to score the runner from third? Active runner on third base scores on flyouts. Others hold. Man, why didn't that should have been a wild pitch. I don't know why the runner didn't advance automatically. It's kind of weird. So now, is Meyers active is the question. Meyers is semi-active. He is semi-active. Did we use the dot already? Don't believe we did. No, we did not. So he is not active according to this, so he will hold. In this particular bat, he was not active. So the fly out to center field. 2 away. Taylor makes a nice play and keeps the runner there. And now it's all down to Yordan Alvarez, and that's where we're going to make a call to the bullpen for the Mets. Lefty coming on. They're going to bring on the lefty A.J. Minter. I did have to create him myself. He was not carded because he did not have over 20 innings of pitching during the season. So that's their cutoff for pitchers. But now we're going to A.J. Minter. He only pitched 13 games with 11 innings real world. So that's why he was not carded. Can't blame him for that. So A.J. Minter coming on. He will be an ace this at bat. He is going to be an ace in this particular at bat against Alvarez. 3-4-5. Not an iron catcher. Alvarez does not have the good eye, so he struck him out. So how about that? A.J. Minter comes in and does the job and keeps the score tied at 3. We go the 7th, and that's going to be it for Framber Valdez. The Astros will go to their bullpen. And let's look and see who they have available. They have Hayden Wesneski. They have, these are right-handers, Brian Abreu. A couple players I had to create, Taylor Scott and Louis Contreras, but they're terrible, so I doubt I use them. Caleb Ort and Spencer Arrighetti, Ronel Blanco. So they've got those guys from the right side. From the left side, they've got the closer, Josh Hader, and Brian King. So we're definitely going with a right-hander with Marte coming up, followed by Taylor. So we're going to go to Brian Abreu for the Astros. He is a semi-ace with double flash. Now, he does not gain the ace quality on top of that because he's starting the inning. But we will have Brian Abreu coming on. And he'll be facing Tyrone Taylor. I'm sorry, it's Marte Taylor. Marte Taylor and Acuna. 2-2-3. Is pitcher wild? No. Is the batter a slugger or utility? Marte is semi-slugger, but the dot says no. So it's a base hit. Active runner would steal, but he's not active. So Marte gets on board with the base hit, starting things off. And here comes Tyrone Taylor. 3-4-5. Not an iron catcher. Doesn't have the good eye. So he will strike out. Taylor out on strikes. That's in blue. We're going to the right now chart. Abreu is a hot pitcher. Acuna 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, so he's a cold batter. Hot pitcher and cold batter. 1-3. Cold pitcher. No, he's not a cold pitcher. So instead of giving up a single, he will give up a fly out to shallow center. For 2 away. And that's going to bring up the number 9 hitter, Torrens. 1-2-6. Is he fresh? Yes, he is. Line out to second base. And that will end the inning. So we go to the 7th inning stretch. We are tied at 3 apiece. Minter did his job. He faces 1 batter. That's all you have to do. You don't have to face 3. If you close the inning out, you can come out. So now they will go to Jose Butto. Right-hander Jose Butto is coming on for the Mets. And he'll be facing, these right-handers. Butto. So Butto will be facing Walker, Diaz, and Pena. 2-4-6. Is he control pitcher? Butto is not a control pitcher. Eager or sad sack? He is semi-eager. Dot says no, so it's a walk. If he was active, he would steal, but he's semi-stoic. So it will be a base on balls. And Christian Walker is at first base. Here is Yanier Diaz. 1-3-5, the first unusual play of the day. The blue die being a 1 means we go to the umpire chart with a runner at first base. So runner on first, and this one I will definitely show since we're at the runner on first. Umpire check. We get a 1-6. Strict umpire at home. Strict umpire at home. No, he's questionable and lenient, so not a strict umpire at home. If he was strict, it would be check swing disallowed, strike 3. Otherwise, ball 1, batter still at bat. So the fact that Andy Fletcher was not strict, means that Diaz will still be up the plate. And Budo's kind of questioning if that might be a hometown call there. Nonetheless, here we go. 1, 2, 3, flash and fresh. Yes, he is on both occasions, so that will be a strikeout. And that will be out number 1. Actually, a bad break there. If he wasn't one of those things, it would have been a ground out double play, but instead he gets the strikeout. Here's Jeremy Pena. 2-2-6. Is he hit by the pitch? Yes, the dot is there, so he is plunked. He is hit by the pitch from Budo. And now that brings up Cam Smith. 3-6-6. He's not a pinch hitter, so it's a fly out to center field for out number 2. And just think, I was thinking about pinch hitting with a lefty for him, but too little too late now. Here's Brendan Rodgers. 3-5-6, that's a left-right split. That's a strikeout on a righty versus righty. And that will end the inning. And that'll do it for Budo. A lot of these pitchers are terse, so it means they get 1 inning, and that is it. That's all I'm giving them is 1 inning. So we go to the 8th, and we'll need a new pitcher for the Astros. And it'll be Lindor, Soto, and Alonso, so you can go either way, lefty or righty. They're going to go with Ronel Blanco, right-hander. So Blanco will come on. Good ball game, 3-3. Why is Blanco not showing there? He's supposed to be on the roster right now. I don't know why the computer is not showing him. All right, maybe I made a mistake on the roster there, so we will not go to Blanco. Instead, we will go to a left-hander, Brian King. So we will bring on Brian King, and he will be the pitcher. So King will be facing Lindor. 4-5-6. Blank for the pitcher. Is Lindor patient? No, he's not. Fly to center. 1 away, and we're going to the chemistry chart with the next at bat. That belongs to Soto. So the lefty-lefty at bat now goes to chemistry. 4-5. Batting team harmony. No, they're semi-harmonious, but the dot is a no. If he was, focused batter would wait on the pitch and get a ball. Otherwise, it's a ground out to the infielder by choice. So we'll say he grounds it to third base. So he's grounded to Paredes. 2 up, 2 down from King. Brings up Pete Alonso. Can't bring in a righty, though, because it's a 3-batter rule. 1-2-6. He is fresh, though, so it's going to be a line out to second base, and that will end the inning. And that will do it for King. He, again, is terse, so he gets his 1 inning, and he's done. He's a 1 and done. Bottom of the 8th we go. Still tied at 3. And the Mets need a new pitcher. Up is Myers, Altuve. A bunch of righties are coming up, so the Mets will be going to, never heard of the guy, but here he is, Max Kranick. He will be the new pitcher. Max Kranick for the Mets. And he'll be facing Jake Myers unless we want a pinch hitter for Houston. Let's see who they've got available off the bench to pinch hit. They have nobody that's left-handed. Well, they got Victor Caratini. He's the only guy that can hit both sides. You also have McCormick. So they're going to pinch hit with Caratini. And then McCormick will go in going to play center field. So that's what the Astros will do. They will go to their bench for Victor Caratini. Although Myers has 3 hits on the day, he's 3 for 3. Should I reconsider? 3 for 3. Should we reconsider this? You know what? We're gonna 86 that result. We didn't put it in the computer yet. We have had a change of mind. Jake Myers is 3 for 3, plus he's a semi-gold center fielder, so we're gonna leave him alone. Jake Myers swinging against Kranick, 3-4-5. He is not an iron catcher. Does he have a good eye? No, he does not, so it's a strikeout. So we struck him out. That's in blue. We're going to the right now chart for Altuve. Altuve is a cold batter, and Kranick is obviously hot from getting that strikeout. Whoop, let's redo that so we can get these things through the tray. 3-5 on the right now chart. Hot batter. No, he's not a hot batter. If he was, he'd foul off pitches until he likes one for a single. Since he's not a hot batter, he will fly to left. So Altuve is out of there. 2 down. And that brings up Paredes. 2-3-5. Ask, is the pitcher wild? No, he's not. Is the batter eager? He is not eager. So it's a ground out to second. Since he's not patient, it will not be a walk. It'll be a ground out to second. And that'll do it for Mr. Kranick. He will do his 1 inning and take care of business. We go to the 9th. All tied at 3. Astros will go to their bullpen. And they will go to their closer, Josh Hader. Since it's no longer a save situation, they will go to Josh Hader out of the bullpen. So Josh Hader coming on. And he will be facing Vientos. 3-4-6 for Hader is blank. Vientos, is he eager? Yes, he is. He's semi-eager. The dot says he is, so he's going to fly to center instead of drawing the base on balls. He was too eager. So Vientos is out of there. Brings up Brandon Nimmo, lefty-lefty matchup. He's 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. Do they pinch hit with somebody for Nimmo? You've got somebody out there, but they're not very good. The only player that's carded by Play.com that's on the open day roster that's on the bench is Brett Batty. He's a lefty, though. The other players they have are Jose Siri. Had to create these guys. Hayden Singer and Jesse Winker. So I think we're going to just stick with Nimmo and see what they can do about it. So Nimmo will stay in there against Hader. 2-3-6 double control. Doesn't have it, but he's semi-eager. The dot says he's eager, so he will make it a 2-ball count. Try again. 2-2-2. That's a good sign for the batter usually. Pitcher's blank. Is he a sad sack? No, he's not. It's a double to center field. Double to center field. But if he's a home run king, he hits a home run. He is a semi-home run king. The dot says he is. So how about that? Brandon Nimmo. I was going to pinch it for him, but leaving him in pays off. It's a home run for Brandon Nimmo. And I'll show it in the book so you can see what I'm talking about. 2-2-2. Whoops, let's get over here. 2-2-2 is a double to center, but you see those 3 asterisks. You turn it over to 3 asterisks, say home run king hits home run. And he's a semi-home run king with the dot. So there you go. Brandon Nimmo. And now Edwin Diaz loosening the Mets bullpen. He'll be coming on in the 9th to try to close the deal. Here's Marte. 3-6-6. He's not a pinch hitter, so he will fly to center. That is out number 2. 2 down, and that will bring up Tyrone Taylor. 5-5-6. Is the pitcher an ace? Yes, he is. So it's a line out to third. And that will end the inning. But now the Mets will turn to Edwin Diaz out of the bullpen to try to close this out. he will be facing Yordan Alvarez. So let's get Edwin Diaz out here. He is a star double flash with semi-control. And he is facing Yordan Alvarez, followed by Walker and Diaz. Possible pinch hitter for Diaz. We'll see. Whoops, whoa, just dropped the blue die. That was not good. One, 4, 5. Pitcher's not a struggler, so he will ground it to first base. One down. That takes us to Christian Walker. Whoa, we got hopping dice. We're going to re-roll that. 2, 5, 6. He's not a struggler. Champion or patient, he's neither one. We got infield drama for the Mets. 1, 6 on the infield drama. Shortstop gold. Shortstop is Lindor. He is actually semi-iron, so he's not gold. So it's going to be a base hit. He would have made the play, but instead it's a base hit. Single for Walker. He is the tying run, and here is Yandy Diaz. He is a slugger, is Diaz. He's 0 for 4, though. But he has 20 home runs, hit 20 home runs in the regular season. But if the Astros wanted to pinch hit with a left-hander, they could go with, well, Caratini is a switch hitter. Could go with him. I think they're going to stick with Diaz, though. 1, 2, 6 is fresh. Yes, he is. It's a line out to second base. Out number 2. And now it's all up to Jeremy Pena. He is a slugger also. He could walk it off with one swing of the bat. 1, 3, 5 is the unusual play, so this game could end on an unusual play. And this one is a red 1 and a black 5. When you get that combination, red 1 and black 5, we have what is known as balks and bogeys. Red 1, black 5. So we're going to re-roll this on balks and bogeys. You get a 46. Foul tip, iron catcher loses it. Others hang on for the out. Well, the catcher is semi-gold. He's not iron, so he will hold on to it for a strikeout. And there's your ball game. Edwin Diaz strikes out Jeremy Pena, and the Mets win it by the score of 4 to 3. Even though they were out hit by the Astros 12 to 5, they win it 4 to 3. And there is your ball game. Mets win it 4 to 3. Start the 2025 season with a victory, and that's going to do it. Maiden voyage in the 2025 Major League season. Seeing how it played out here and this is my first time using History Maker Baseball with OBS that I'm aware of. So we'll see how this plays out as well. Might be better to do it without OBS and just keep it on the mat here. I don't know, but I'm always tinkering, so I like to tinker and see how it turns out. But that's going to do it from here. Mets win it in dramatic, well, not necessarily dramatic fashion, but a pretty dramatic, I guess. A Brandon Nimmo home run in the top of the 9th. So Brandon Nimmo is your player of the game. His home run wins it in the top of the 9th for the Mets. Mets beat the Astros 4 to 3. Till next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.